All right, so we have some pretty interesting news, some of it controversial regarding the CW's Arrowverse. So let's get into it. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
It's a me,
Dario!
Woohoo! Let's go!
All right, so before we get into it, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDario_World. Also follow my Facebook page, Super Dario World. I update everything there. I put links to all my podcasts. What can I say? All my podcasts there. Jesus Christ, I'm having an aneurysm here. So all my podcasts there. So later today, I will be recording one with my kid brother. We call it Super Dario Brothers. And we recorded one actually on Tuesday, so that one's already up there. So if you want the link, you can find them anywhere: iTunes, SoundCloud, the iHeartRadio app, everywhere. But just type in Super Dario Brothers, you can find it right there. But the easiest way for you to find anything that I do is right through my Facebook page. The links to everything are right there, Super Dario World. The one we did earlier in the week, Eric gave us this list of his favorite anime shows of all time. And today, I'm going to give him my list, and we'll compare and contrast later on. The goal here is that I'm going to go through every single thing on his list, and then afterwards, I'll see if his ranking was correct or not. He's going to do the same for me. Why? Gives us an excuse to watch shows we like. So, sue me. Anyway, so there's some pretty relevant news that came out from the CW network, the Arrowverse. That's, for those of you who don't know, the CW started a TV show, almost a decade ago, called Arrow, that basically follows the adventures of the DC superhero, the Green Arrow. Then afterwards, the spin-off show was developed, which was The Flash. And then I believe it was NBC created Supergirl, which kind of sucked. But eventually, the CW got the rights to that show, so that transferred to the CW. They also created another show called The Legends of Tomorrow. And last season, they started their newest venture called Batwoman. Now, Batwoman has been, for all accounts and purposes, a complete and total failure, depending on who you ask. If you ask the creators, if you ask the stars, the show's been a complete hit. If you ask the fans, the show's sucked donkey dick. And that's the nice way to put it. So much, and now some interesting news have come. Actually, it's shocking that the show actually got renewed for a second season, but unfortunately, it's their way of introducing quote-unquote Batman into the world. For those of you who don't know, the show specifically centers around the character Kate Kane, which in this particular universe, she's the cousin of Bruce Wayne. I know there's many different versions of Batwoman. I kind of like the one where she's an alien, but here she's Bruce Wayne's cousin, and she's protecting Gotham City because Bruce Wayne is really nowhere to be found. That's kind of the gist of it. I need to clarify this. I did not watch the show. Let me explain why. I have not finished the last season of anything from the CW, from the Arrowverse. I love the Arrowverse, but usually I wait for everything to be on Netflix and I just binge watch it all together in the order that you're supposed to go, so there's no spoilers, because all the shows are interconnected. It's a lot to watch. But this week, actually, they released the latest season of The Flash. They already had the latest season of Arrow, which is actually the final season of Arrow. So I stopped right before the crossover event happened, which is a major crossover event, Crisis on Infinite Worlds, I believe. No, Infinite Crisis. Oh, no, Crisis. One of the two. Right now, I'm blanking out on which one of the two is. I think it's Crisis on Infinite Earths, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it Infinite Crisis? One is DC, one's Marvel. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And now I'm going to catch up with The Flash, and so on and so forth until I finish out. That's how I do it. And I was planning on adding Batwoman to that particular repertoire. Now, I wasn't excited about Batwoman at all because, well, at first I was. I'll be honest. At first I was when last year at Comic-Con we went to a Batwoman party, a CW party specifically about Batwoman, and they had a whole bunch of the effects. It looked like they actually put a lot of money into it, so the effects look really cool. Some of the clips that they showed us seemed kind of interesting. Like they were taking it very, very seriously, and they wanted this to be. It looked like they wanted it to be the centerpiece of the Arrowverse since Arrow was finishing. Now, Arrow was the center of it, and then kind of a little bit afterwards, Flash started taking over a little bit. Then it was Arrow a bit more, and now it was ending, and so somebody else had to take up that mantle. or the hood, and it looked like maybe they thought that could be Batwoman. It was most likely going to be the Flash, but doesn't matter. That doesn't really matter right now. So the reason why I was not excited for this show after that, like I said, at the party I was excited. Maybe it's because there was alcohol involved, but it was free, so I was somewhat excited there. However, afterwards, last year there was a crossover event where they introduced the character of Batwoman into the Arrowverse, and I did not. They did something that it's not that I didn't like her at all. I'm not a big Ruby Rose fan, for starters. I didn't like her in Orange Is the New Black. I think she's the weakest part of John Wick 2. I don't think she's a good actress. That's pretty much it. As an actress, I don't really like her. There's certain people I don't like. I don't like her. I don't hate her. Don't like her. Don't feel one way or another about her. Anyway, so I wasn't particularly happy with the casting, but whatever. It's fine. We'll see what I'll give her a shot. But then at the crossover event, they did something that always makes me wary when it comes to new characters. And that's they had another main character try to give her a seal of approval of being cool. And I remember it specifically. It's a scene where Supergirl, the Flash, and Arrow, and in this case, their alter egos, which would be Barry Allen and Oliver Queen. I'm sorry if I just spoiled anything for anybody. I didn't. If you don't know that, I don't know how to help you. Anyway, their alter egos. They meet the character of Kate Kane. Sorry, I'm not good with names. So they meet Batwoman, and immediately the scene that they meet her as they're walking away from the room and going into another one, Supergirl turns to the Flash and says, "Oh, I think she's cool." Why? I don't know. They met her for 10 seconds, and I think she's cool. I hate it when people do that. I hate it when writers do that specifically. And to me, it's always a sign of, this character sucks. Or, this character is very unlikable. And they're trying to kind of like just shove down their throat like, seal of approval. She's cool. I'll give you a perfect example of this. Avengers Endgame. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, for the most part, very unlikable character. Before she had powers, likable. After she got her powers, they just did not know how to write her at all, or it was Brie Larson's performance, or it was Brie Larson's personality. Who knows? It could have been a combination of all of those things. But after that point, she's not really that likable, which is fine. You can play her that way. It's fine. It's okay to not be liked, all right? You don't have to be beloved by everybody, all right? Sometimes people like you for being unlikable. It's a thing. Look at Loki. Anyway, so they introduced Captain Marvel to the rest of the Avengers, and I remember this scene where Thor kind of gets up, is eyeballing her, walks up to her, just gets up a real close and personal, and she kind of like stands up to him, and Thor says, "I like this one." And to me, it's like, this is just bullshit. Like, this is like the cool hero is giving you the seal of approval. That way the fans know, she's cool. It is horrible writing. It's pathetic. It makes the character less likable. Honestly, it does. And it's sad. It's sad. It tells you that you weren't capable of writing a character that was interesting all by itself. So you need kind of like to rub up some of the cool of the other character into this one. It's sad. It's bad. It's really bad. Don't do it. Pro tip, don't do it. Anyway, so a big announcement has been made from the TV show Batwoman, and that's that the lead actress, Ruby Rose, will not be a part of the Batwoman TV show anymore, which is really bad. When your lead leaves the show, it's very, very bad. If you're playing the character Batwoman and you leave the show Batwoman, and I don't even think that the first season's finished. I think that because of the coronavirus pandemic, the last 2 episodes weren't even shot yet, but she left. She's out of there. And at first, there's a lot of speculation. I think that the show, supposedly, they're changing writers. Because, again, the show, from what I've heard, I haven't seen it, but what I've heard from Batman fans, people who like the Bat family, the show is hot garbage. It sucks 100%, and they're trying to ram down your throat their stupid ideologies. A show's not supposed to do that. A show's supposed to tell you a good story, not trying to shove the writer's ideologies down your throat. Anyway, so it seems like it was very confusing what the hell was happening. Now we have a little bit of news, and it says something that, to me, it's insane, but here it goes. This is the rumor. According to multiple sources, Rose was unhappy with the long hours required of her as the series lead, which led to friction on the set. It was thus decided by her and the network and studio Warner Brothers Television that they would part ways. Are you fucking kidding me? If this is true, this is fucking insanity. You are the lead of a TV show, all right? The lead. You accepted this. What did you expect? Honestly, what you thought you was going to just show up, work for 5 minutes, and go home? This is pathetic. This is beyond pathetic. And if she ever gets a job, I mean, she will get another job after this because there's always somebody who's going to hire you just by name recognition alone. But I would never want to work with this woman. If that's true, a lazy person that you were the lead of a show. You were paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to play a superhero. And honestly, in this situation, lie. Lie. Don't just save face and walk away. Say it was creative differences. Say that you didn't like what they were wanting to do with the character. Say you didn't think it was good for your career to be locked down on a single character. It'll make you look like an idiot. But still, it's better than being lazy. This is extremely bad. If I were Ruby Rose or her reps, I would try to get out front of this as quickly as possible. So far, they've declined to comment. But it is mind-boggling if that's true. And the fact that this information's out, it's really, really bad. Honestly, it pisses me off, and I have no dog in this fight. I haven't even seen the show. More interesting, equally as interesting is what the creative, what the producers are planning to do. And let me see if I can find the statement that they said. Let me see. Okay. All right. This is Ruby Rose's statement that she put. It was supposedly very polite. I have made the very difficult decision not to return to Batwoman next season. This was not a decision I made lightly, as I have the utmost respect for the cast, crew, and everyone involved with the show in both Vancouver and in Los Angeles. Also, by the way, if she left, it means that all those people could have been fired. So, yeah, utmost respect. I can't talk today. What the fuck? More respect for the people, and you might be getting them fired. So I just saw the stupid statement from the producers. Damn it, this is really annoying me. Anyway, while I find that, I had a listener ask me, well, who would you like to take over the character? Honestly, I would really, really like for it to be Mary Elizabeth Winstead. You might know her as Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Scott Pilgrim from the Scott Pilgrim movie, and she also played Huntress in the latest Harley Quinn Birds of Prey. I did not like her as Huntress because they try to make her funny, but overall, if she plays it kind of dry, what is it? Dry pan? No, deadpan. What the hell is wrong with my brain today? Shake it off. All right, if she plays, she's really good with deadpan humor. So she's a badass for starters, and she's good with deadpan humor, which it sounds like they may want to make this character a little bit more likable because so far nobody seems to like her. That's what I would do. That's where I would go. Honestly, I think she'd be a good choice because she's a decent actress. She's got some nerd recognition, and again, she's a badass. However, I just found the statement. This is what the producers of the show have said. What they're seeking is a new lead actress and a member of the LGBTQ community in the coming months. That's what they'll be doing. They'll be trying to find somebody. You guys are fucking morons. All right. Let me give you some free advice. So first off, let me clarify something. Batwoman is a character who's gay, right? The character is gay. That is a fact. She's been written that way pretty much since forever. Actors act. That is what they do. They pretend to be. I'm pretty sure that Tom Holland is not fucking Spider-Man. All right? I am pretty sure. I am pretty sure that Zoe Saldana is not a gigantic blue alien, right? They act. Actors act. Just because the character is an LGBTQ character does not mean that you need an LGBTQ actress. In fact, it's apparently what has been the problem with the show. You're trying to ram down stuff that people don't like. Nobody before, I had never heard anybody ever complained about Batwoman being a lesbian. In fact, dudes who are mainly the biggest fan base about on comic books is usually dudes. No dude's gonna complain about a hot lesbian, all right? At least not that I know of. Unless maybe complaining about a hot lesbian stealing their girl. But that's completely different. That's a completely different thing, and it doesn't sting as much. So, why are you limiting yourself this way? You should. The only thing that you should be concerned with is we will finding a new lead actress who is the best for the role. That's it. You don't have to be promising something that doesn't make any sense. And honestly, if I'm an actress, I'd just lie. How are they going to prove it? Like, if anybody asks, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm bisexual. Like, but we see you with a dude. Yeah, well, that's who I'm dating right now. I'm bisexual. That's that. And how are they going to prove it? They're going to, kiss that girl over there to prove it? No. You know how many lawsuits that would get you? Free advice to anybody out there. Lie. Honestly. Ruby Rose, you should have lied. In this case, save a little face or clarify. Tell us what the hell's going on. Any actress out there that's going out for this role, lie. Say that you're at least bi. You're a member of the LGBTQ community. And honestly, how are they going to prove it? This is so beyond stupid. Beyond stupid. It's a terrible idea. It's a terrible way to build a show, honestly, because you already limited yourself. All right? You already limited yourself in the possibilities that you're going to get. And it's just stupid. It's stupid. It's, like I said, bad business. Bad business. And to clarify, I would like it to be Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who, I don't know, I think she's married. I don't know if she's married to a girl or not. It doesn't matter. I think she'd be the best one for the role. Anyway, let's move on from that piece of hot garbage and move on to something that also sounds kind of weird. So, the CW, again, since Arrow is leaving, they've announced that there's going to be a new TV show coming in this season called Superman and Lois. And as you can imagine, it's the story of the character Superman, Clark Kent, and Lois Lane. So, here we got a poster for the show. That, by the way, Superman and Lois have appeared in the Arrowverse before. It's the Boy Scout version of Superman so far. Dude's done a good job. Let me just see if I can remember his name real quick. Tyler Hoechlin. Oh yeah, he was on Teen Wolf. Dude's done a good job. If you're going for the original, the OG Boy Scout Superman, this is him, right? The one that inspires you, like the one that brings hope, the one that's almost beyond perfect and perfect morals and all that stuff. That's pretty much him. Lois, she's badass Lois, pretty much. And so they released the synopsis for the show. And here it is. It's a long one, so get ready. In Superman and Lois, after years of facing megalomaniacal supervillains, monsters wreaking havoc on Metropolis, and alien invaders intent on wiping out the human race, the world's most famous superhero, the Man of Steel, a.k.a. Clark Kent, and comic books' most famous journalist, Lois Lane, come face-to-face with one of the greatest challenges ever, dealing with all the stress, pressures, and complexities that come with being working parents in today's society. Complicating the already daunting job of raising two boys, Clark and Lois must also concern themselves with whether or not their sons Jonathan and Jordan could inherit their father's Kryptonian superpowers as they grow older. Returning to Smallville to handle some Kent family business, Clark and Lois are reacquainted with Lana Lang, a local loan officer who also happens to be Clark's first love, and her fire chief husband, Kyle Cushing. The adults aren't the only ones discovering old friendships in Smallville, as the Kent sons are reacquainted with Lana and Kyle's rebellious daughter, Sarah. Of course, there's never a dull moment in the life of a superhero, especially with Lois's father, General Samuel Lane, looking for Superman to vanquish a villain and save the day at a moment's notice. Meanwhile, Superman and Lois' return to idyllic Smallville is set to be upended when a mysterious stranger enters their lives. So there's a lot there, and a part of me is kind of concerned that it kind of sounds like a sitcom. A little bit. It sounds a little bit sitcom-y. However, overall, it says that, it says that Superman's still going to be Superman, right? I did not miss that. It's Superman trying to be a dad, which could be funny. Honestly, if this is more on the funny side, I guess I can be okay with it. As long as it's about Superman and Lois, I'm cool with it. I'm worried that it sounds like it's going to be too much about the kids. That is my concern here. From reading that, it sounds like it's going to be a lot about the kids, and that's very annoying. I don't want to see... while I think it could be funny to see Superman trying to be a dad, which, by the way, it would be the easiest job ever, because you got super speed and super strength, and you can watch over them pretty much from any spot on Earth. It would be like the easiest job ever. But I mean, yeah, unless they have superpowers, then you might be getting into a little bit of trouble. But if you're gonna have to have somebody there taking care of your kids, I think Superman, who is also their father, might be there to help to ease things up a bit. However, what was I even talking about? I don't know. Oh yeah, so it also sounds like it's gonna be too much about the kids, and I don't really understand what age the kids were. Apparently, this is going to be something that was related to Crisis on Infinite Earths, but I haven't seen that yet. So far, it looks like it's going to be 13 episodes. And again, hopefully, it's going to actually be about Superman and Lois and not about the kids. Because honestly, I don't care. I want to see Superman having adventures, being Superman, not just kids being like lame. That's my concern. But anyway, that's it for today. I'm keeping this one short, even though it's already 20 minutes, because I got stuff to do. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDarioPeriodWorld. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next time.